Diva Live Radio. Here I am, your host with the most, Brenda Moss, a.k.a. Lady Diva. I am back. Phone lines are open right now. That jam right there is Take Me to a Place, and I will be taking you all to a place today with singer-songwriter Trey Stevens is on my show tonight. Welcome,
hey,
Trey.
Hey,
yes.
Thank you for having me, Lady Diva. I appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. We are jamming on Take Me to a Place. I got my friends here. We all wiggling in the chair, jamming off Take Me to a Place. And so
I love it.
Taking us to a place. When was that song released? What year was that?
That was around 2007, 2008. That's an oldie but goodie.
Yes.
Oldie but goodie.
Yes.
It's been good to me.
Yes. There's no expiration date on music to me, so bring it on. Bring it on.
You know, good music. It's all about the timelessness of it all, right?
Yes. It is timeless. Yes. So I want to introduce you to the listening audience. I am with Trey Stevens today, and he has a new single called Only Woman. Now, on with the rhythms of dance, infused with vocals of Ole Soul and tainted by the edge of hip-hop, Trey Stevens attacks each supremely. Now, he was born into a family of musicians from Michigan, and that's where he stayed at most of his youth back in the day. Now, Trey Stevens, would you like to introduce yourself to the curious listeners out there about you, briefly?
I do. And again, thank you so much, Lady Diva. You have such a wonderful spirit about you, and it's been such a pleasure to get to know and learn more about who you are as well. And thank you so much for having me on your show. Appreciate it. As you mentioned, Trey Stevens is the name. I am a Midwesterner at heart, born into a family of musicians. Father is a military man. I'm an Army brat. We spent most of his tour in Germany, where I really started my performing career on the Army base, playing a chocolate Santa Claus, which they had never had at that time. And this was many moons ago, but I got the bug from there, auditioning for the part. And in that moment, I remember my teacher, her name Mrs. Carson, she had told my mother, she said, your son can sing and he can act. You may want to do something with him. And my mother said, yeah, we all can sing and we all can act.
Oh, yeah.
He gets it honestly. So,
yeah,
that kind of moved me into the world of performing. And when we settled in Michigan, when I got to high school in particular, I began to do a lot of the theater and a lot of talent shows, and I had teachers come to me and asking me to sing for special events and things of that nature, literally coming to classes and, peeping in and can I speak to Trey for a second, and can you sing on this date on this or whatever, and I can do that or what have you, and ultimately being voted class talent, which was an honor for MLC High at the time. So, I really, Lady Diva, it was really an interesting time for me because when I left high school after performing so much, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do and if I was really able to take things to the next level and have it as a career, being a musician or being in the performing arts professionally. And I decided, I said, well, you know what I'm going to do in order to make that happen? I decided to move and settle in New York City.
New York City.
New York. And I tell you, if you can make it here, it truly is a saying, you can make it anywhere. I came here, started singing around town, auditioning, doing session works, really getting my chops up to where they needed to be as far as, the next level of performing or what have you. Got really lucky and fortunate in a lot of instances, and one in particular getting signed to a recording contract where I sat for a couple of years. And that didn't take me to a place that I wanted to go. But it was a wonderful experience, and it opened up so many other doors. And my mother had always taught me, to be my authentic self and to work hard and do what I could do, and to also recognize that you're talented, but there's always other people who are more talented out there. But you work your tail off, and hopefully something will come from it. And that was my motivation, and that's what got me started in this business.
Well, thank you for that. Thank you for that. Wow. And you're calling from New York City right now, correct?
Yes, ma'am. New York, New York.
And I am calling from Evansville, Indiana, everyone, if anyone wants to know. Phone lines are still open if you want to call in and speak with Trey Stevens. A little bit more about your history. Now, you had wooed the audience when you did a performance at the Apollo Theater back in the day.
I did.
Doing Teddy Pendergrass.
I did. My sister, Carissa Kay, she's an actress. She has always functioned as my manager of sorts. Thank you, Carissa Kay. And she would always, in high school, she would pick out my outfit and she'd pick out my music. And between she and my mother, between the two of them, my mother being my first vocal coach, we called my mother, her family name was Jaybird, may she rest in peace. They would toggle between, you're going to sing this song this year, you're going to sing this song, this is a look you're going to have, right?
Yeah.
And one particular year, Lady Diva, my sister chose a Teddy Pendergrass song, Turn Off the Lights.
Uh-huh.
And this was during my sophomore year. And I remember saying to my sister, I don't think that I can sing a Teddy Pendergrass song. He sounds like a lion. I sound like a little kitten trying to sing that song. He just reminds me of a lion when he sings,
Right.
And I don't have that kind of energy. And I remember my mother screaming from her bedroom, you can do it, just practice. And I got you. And I practice every day. I got that song down pat.
Well, good for you.
Yeah. Fast forward, the Apollo came up, and I wasn't going to do it. But my sister said, you need to get out, because I was going through a little depression because things weren't going in the right way. You need to get out. You need to perform. Your buddy hooked you up with this. Go do this Wednesday, show. Just get out and do it. And I tell you, it was one of the best things I could have done for myself, because the response to me singing Teddy Pendergrass and bringing back some of that quote-unquote magic from high school, it really brought the audience to their feet. Now, mind you, 20 acts doing this, amateur night on a Wednesday night, and I didn't expect myself to win. But in that moment, I won because I got people to get up and cheer for me and root me on, and I didn't get pulled off stage.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Yep. Wow. That is great. Yep. That is great. Yep. I'm proud to hear that. Thank you for that information. Wow. So we're going to move along and talk about this new single, Only Woman. What is, when was this track released, and what's the story behind the music?
Oh, this is, Lady Diva, this is a special song for me. It was released this year, January 1, 2023. And, when I heard your voice, you in many ways remind me of all the only women in my life who motivated, inspired, kept my head straight. My mother, my sisters, my niece, my aunt. This song was inspired by those people. My mother was the first person to show me unconditional love. And there's a line about, showing someone unconditional love, which is something we need more in the world today. And I thought to myself as I was writing this song, because it just that I knew a lot of people would take the song itself, the lyrics, the title, and make it their own. Recognizing this, to me, being a love letter to all the beautiful women in my life who supported me throughout my growth and maturation, I dedicate that to them. I dedicate it to women like you, hon. I really do.
My goodness. Really do. Thank you. Oh, my gosh. I'm about to cry. Oh,
No.
Lord. Oh. I love this song.
Yeah, I don't think people really understand, and the power that women bring to our lives every day, And for me, women being one of those groups that really was central to my upbringing, and making sure that I had everything I need and showing me, the possibilities and making me stronger in my skin and making me feel comfortable in my skin. We need that. So this song is that. This song is my celebration to women.
Well, all right. I'm going to spin Only Woman. You stay in that hot seat, Trade Stevens. We'll be right back. Just a moment. We're having some difficulties here. Just one moment. The song is not playing right now, so we're going to keep on talking. Something's going on. We're just going to keep on talking. So I'd like to ask you, what would be the ultimate desire of what you want the fans and all to get out of this new single, Only Woman?
I think the ultimate desire really is to appreciate the women in your life. Be that your grandmother, your mother, your sister, your auntie, your significant other, however, whatever, and bringing about that joy and celebrating the women in your life. That's what that's really the ultimate, the ultimate reason why I wrote it, and it's my love letter to women, because those were things that were passed on to me, imbued in me, empowered me. So for me, passing that along and understanding too that many of our young men are those who think of themselves as men in this world need to understand that and need to respect that, even more so today. So I think if anything, anyone listens to this song and anyone feels a certain connection to this song, play this song for that special person in your life. Play that song for your grandmother. Play that song for your mother. Play it for your sister, and let them know how much you love them. If you don't know how to say I love you, play the song. Let the song say it for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Make that connection that way. Music does that to people. Music, it gives that passion and it gives those feelings, and you project that into the world, and will allow you to have that conversation about unconditional love, being there for one another. That's what I want, and that's what I hope to get out of all of my music, Lady Diva.
Oh, well, thank you for that. Thank you for that. Thank you for that answer. And go right ahead and give your website information and your social media information for others to keep up with you.
Sure. So you can find me at tradestevens.com, TRADESTEVENS.com. Let's say Facebook Music, Trade Stevens Music on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram, Trade Stevens, Twitter, Trade Stevens, YouTube, Trade Stevens Music. Any of the socials you go on, you're going to find type in Trade Stevens, I will come up. You will see me there looking dapper.
All right. Thank you for that information. All right. And I have another track I would like to play also later in the show. Talk to me. What's the story behind the music on that song? And when was it released?
That was released, if I remember correctly, that was released the summer of June of last year, 2022. That was the first of me really pulling together some music that I wanted to release to the world again after making my quote unquote comeback. And that particular song is a special song in that, it's really just about relationships and how we communicate with each other. You often hear people, arguing and saying things about, why do you talk to me that way? And understand that communication is the foundation of most of our relationships and how best to do it. That just came right on out, and that melody came right on out. And I say, my producers will, with the exclamation point, Prayer and Clarence T. Lee Hill, I had originally, Lady Diva, I had it as a ballad. It was a very pitiful, sad ballad. Why do you talk to me like that?
Yeah,
but they had the foresight and the vision to make it something more of a bop and add some rhythm to it and some tempo to it and some pace to it, and it brought new life to it, and it also brought new meaning to it as well. So, yeah, it's one of those songs that you listen to, you immediately like it, you relate to it. I got so many calls about it. This is how I'm feeling right now about my partner. They talk to me any old kind of way.
Wow. Okay, I got it. Well, thank you for that information. And I will be playing Talk to Me at the end of the show. I'm going to try to spin Only Woman. Single there, Only Woman. Go ahead and purchase that single track online on all major streams. Is that correct, Trey Stevens?
That is correct. You can purchase it on Distro Baby, CD Baby, stream it on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Music. It's everywhere. Just type in Trey Stevens.
Yes, that song is very addictive. It's catchy. And your voice is it's like a lullaby. can't get it out of my other ear for it to go out the other ear. It's in there. And I love the song. It's perfect for Valentine's Day, coming up Mother's Day. Perfect timing, Trey.
Yeah. I thank you for saying that, and I'm happy it has moved you. I do hope that people really take this song and play it to your significant others, your special women in your life, Mother's Day, Valentine's Day. Express that love to all of the women in your life. That's what this song is about. It is a celebration of women, and it is my love letter to women. All this, if anything, I'd forever be proud of this song.
Yes. Thank you so much for your information. Thank you for the song. And I'd like to ask you, is there any future music projects to come you would like to tease us about?
Of course. You know, this Talk to Me and Only Woman is a part of a collective, an EP titled Sweet Hell Inside, and we're hoping to release it toward the beginning of the summer.
Yay.
So hopefully we'll have the entire package of songs out, the EP out, and released to the world sometime in the summer. So it's an amazing collection of work that I pulled together with my production team, Will Prayer and Clarence T. Lee Hill, both Atlanta legends, who also encouraged me to shake off the cobweb.
Yeah.
And get back in the studio and do what I do. I'm sorry?
You need those kind of people in your life.
You do. You know, I think that, you know, when me being a performing artist, you know, I'm going to say for over 20 years now, and understanding there are a lot of highs and lows that come with being a performance artist, you make a lot of sacrifices. You know what I'm saying, Lady Diva? Yeah. And, you know, for me, it was always about prioritizing what's important to me. And as you mature, and that's a nice word for saying as you get older, you have to really think about what makes sense. You know, for me, an education, going to school, getting, you know, my education, bachelor's degree and master's degree in human resources management, and doing really well in that area. Right. And also recognizing that you got to understand what's happening in the world. You have to prioritize things accordingly, and you have to be realistic about your goals. You know, that's really important in what we do. Really important.
Wow. Well, thank you for that information, and I'm quite sure all the listeners and your fans out there will be following you up on all social media to keep up with you and to keep updated on the forthcoming EP. And I'm going to pull you right back on stage on my platform right here to present that EP. Yes.
I hope so. You've been such a support system, and I'm truly humbled and really thankful to have crossed paths with you.
Oh, yes, that is a blessing. You just fell right out of the sky, out of nowhere. Thanks and shout out to Jay Ross. Go ahead and give your shout outs right now to all those lovely people that have been supporting you in your music career.
Well, a special shout out to you. Thank you for welcoming me to your platform. I will definitely accept another invite, truly, because this has been a wonderful experience and time sharing with you. Special shout out to my mother, who was my first, we called her Jay Bird, may she rest in peace. She was my first vocal coach and my biggest fan. She would call me at 1:00 in the morning playing Take Me to a Place back when I first released it, and other songs on that CD, something that was released back in 2007. My lovely sister, Carissa Kay, who is an amazing actress, for being a huge support system to me in the beginnings of my career, being my de facto manager. I mean, she would go with me to meetings with record execs, and she would take the lead and have these conversations and tout, you know, her big brother.
Wow, that's amazing.
She would really do all these amazing things to make sure that I was handled and taken care of, and what have you. My late and great cousin Dorothy Davis, who functioned as a mother to my sister and died when my mother couldn't function as a mother. To Jay Ross, the boss. I really appreciate his support. He has been doing amazing things for me since I've met him. To Kevin Bryant, who introduced us, Jay Ross, the boss. Thank you so much, Kevin. You've always been a support system. To Wesley Bosey, who took these amazing pictures that you all see on my website. Tony B., who helped pull my look together along with my bestie, Marty Lee. I've had so many people in my life who've been of a great help to me, and I thank them all from the bottom of my heart. And even if I leave you all with this one song, Only Woman, I would forever be thankful and grateful.
Oh, wow. Thank you. It's my pleasure. I'm going to give everyone and myself an applause. Trey Stevens. I want to thank you for making a number 2 come back on my show. Excuse the technical difficulties that happened yesterday, but it's all good.
Okay.
It's all good.
It's all good.
Yes, all good.
I think this is a great time.
Yes, and I want to thank everyone for tuning in, listening on this show with Trey Stevens. Go and check out his 2 singles, especially Only Woman and Talk to Me. I would like to ask you a couple of more questions, Trey Stevens.
Sure.
A lot of curious minds wants to know, are you doing any bookings for weddings or anything like that?
Well, that's so funny you would ask that. So Only Woman, I had finished recording Only Woman, I think, in the spring of last year. A good friend of my sister's, a close girlfriend of hers, had reached out to me and said, Trey, I'm getting married. And I was so happy for her because she was one of those people, she never thought she'd find love again, and she found an amazing partner. And she said, Trey, I want you to sing this Luther Vandross song. And I said, oh, amazing. Luther's one of my favorite artists. And I said, what song is that? And she said, So Amazing. I said, wonderful. And I said, I have this song that I just completed, and you may want to listen to it. And she herself has always been a supportive fan of mine. And I sent it to her. She and her fiance at the time called me back screaming into the phone, Trey, you've got to sing Only Woman. You've got to sing that. Please sing it. So I sang that at her wedding. This summer, a good friend of mine I've known since I'm 14 years old, she had reached out to me during the fall and said, I'm calling in my favor, and you got to sing at my daughter's wedding next summer. And I said, well, I will see you next summer. So
wow.
I am always open to singing at people's services, what have you, especially a song like this, because I think it would be a beautiful song. We plan on doing some shows over in Atlanta during the spring, summer. So we have a lot of things. You'll be able to see a lot of these things on my website and also through my social social networks or what have you.
Yes.
So.
Yes. Thank you for that information. Wow. And one more question: are you okay with singing cover songs?
All the time.
All the time. Okay. All right. That did it.
Yes,
Thank you for that.
Yes.
Thank you for that. And any words of encouragement you would like to give to those that are in the music industry or are gaining into the music industry? Any encouraging words you would like to give before we sign out?
Oh, yeah. You know what, Lady, thank you for asking me that question. Earlier I mentioned my production team, and I got to thank them again, to Will Prayer and Clarence T. Lee Hill. They were really encouraging of getting me to get back into the studio. I initially came to them with this project of just writing some music and shopping some songs around to some acts and some artists. And, hey, I wrote these great songs. If you want to sing them, sing them. As long as I get proper credit, I'm good. But they kind of shook me up and said, man, you got something, and you need to put yourself back out there. That can be a scary thing, especially if you're of a certain age. and you kind of transitioned and you made other things priority in your life. But I always say to people, you know what, do what you love and make the most of it. But most importantly, especially for the younger talent, understand if you want to get into the performing arts, into the music business, into acting or what have you, you have to learn the business. You have to learn and understand that it's a business. It is about making money. It's about selling records. It's about putting people in the seats. And the more about business you know, the better off you'll be. My uncle said to me, he said, you know what you can do for yourself? If you write songs, write songs. And in that moment, he didn't know that I wrote songs. I knew that I should focus on writing and develop my writing skills. That was really important because that's good business and that's where you make money. Understanding the importance of building relationships with people. So when you're coming up and you're coming down, always being nice to people on the way up and the way down, because you never know when you're going to need support again, right?
Right.
But really understand that you do what you love, and it's not so that you're trying to become a star, is that you're trying to become a working professional doing what you love. That's most important as well. Thank you for asking me that question.
Wow, yes, and thank you for those encouraging words. Makes complete sense, common sense. I've always preached that to a lot of the up-and-coming artists. You do music, write music, you sing, rap, or whatever, treat it as a business. And
exactly.
Other things follow. You have to have a work ethic along with it.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's it.
Yes. So thank you for those encouraging words. Trade Stevens, everyone. Check him out online on major streams. This show has been recorded. Thank you, Trade Stevens. You have a blessed evening. I'll be talking to you again. I'll be following you. And yes, thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and have a good night. Thank you, everyone. This is Lady Diva signing out.
Because of you, what was heavy seems